A former NYPD officer who became confined to a wheelchair after being shot in the line of duty now has an ADA accessible home. This is all thanks to the Tunnel to Towers Smart Homes program, which builds specially updated homes for injured veterans and first responders. Arthur Sheehan has the story.
New York in the 70s was a bit chaotic. There was a horrible heroin epidemic. And where I worked, you could walk into a crowd of dozens and dozens on a corner, and transactions were flying left and right.
As the heroin epidemic was taking a toll on families and the city in the 1970s, New York City native William Mcnamara decided to become a police officer. But on June 10th of 1978, the young cop's life would take a horrifying, violent turn.
It was a day tour. It was pretty uneventful.
Mcnamara was walking by the St. Nicholas houses in central Harlem.
And I was walking north on 7th Avenue when a gentleman was crossing the street diagonally. And he said, "Hey, officer," and he was no further than, 5 or 6 feet away when suddenly he charged me.
The two struggled. Mcnamara didn't draw his gun, wanting to resolve the struggle without it.
And lo and behold, my holster failed. The gun came out. We struggled for it between our chests, and it discharged, and I was immediately paralyzed.
Up until that moment, Mcnamara had been a runner his entire life. Without the use of his legs, he lay helpless on the ground. The suspect, still armed, wasn't finished.
When I rolled my head back, there he was behind me with the weapon aimed at my head. And he said, "Now I'm going to kill you." And when I heard him cock the gun, I rotated my head to the right, and he proceeded to pistol whip me for a while. And he got the radio, and I was choking on my teeth, and I remember lying there, pulling my teeth out, saying, "What the hell just happened? I was having such a good day."
2 shots, one to the chest, another to his face. Fragments of the first bullet ripped through his heart, lung, and spine. While he would never walk again, Mcnamara set off on the next chapter of his life without an ounce of self-pity.
When I was first injured, I had a lot of agility, a lot of strength, but after 40 years of overuse, my muscles weren't as toned and I wasn't as agile as I was before.
Making things like getting in and out of a bathtub dangerous. That's when the Tunnel to Towers Foundation happened to approach him, wanting to renovate his Upper West Side apartment into a smart home. Mcnamara declined the help. The conversation then went like this.
"I'm fine. I really don't need any help. Please put your energy into someone who really needs it." And they gently reminded me I was getting older.
Talking it over with his family, Mcnamara came to the realization it wasn't about him, but to help his whole family, which worries collectively for his well-being. Setting aside his reservations, Mcnamara got on board. The work began earlier this year, and by the end of summer, it was done. Particularly remarkable since it was the first time the Tunnel to Towers Foundation converted an apartment into a smart home. Mcnamara's decision literally opened the door to a smarter life, taking Fox 5 through things like being able to open his door from either side by just using an app on his phone.
And I can adjust the speed of opening, length of time it stays open.
Another app controls the lights in zones throughout his entire apartment.
If I went to bed and forgot to turn the light off, I can knock it off from bed. I can get my knees underneath.
Mcnamara also took us through the physical changes, where space was created under the sink so he can pull into it, and a new stove that opens in sections.
The stove they sourced really meets my needs.
And then there's the bathroom, where the renovations are more than just about convenience, but safety.
My mobility to get on and off a shower chair, getting very hazardous.
Yeah, because you would have to go over.
Yeah, I would have to transfer, and I'm wet. And it's a wet environment. So now, with either this chair or the shower chair, I'm right in.
While the renovation project is complete, for Mcnamara, the best benefit has been his deepened relationship with what he calls his Tunnel to Towers family now, an upgrade that far outlasts the physical changes to his apartment.
I've made friendships with them, so there's a real linkage going forward, and I think that's one of the real testaments of Towers is they plan on being there and invite you to play a role in your life.
On the Upper West Side, Arthur Sheehan, Fox 5 News.
What an incredible story and incredible work that Tunnel to Towers does. The 23rd annual Tunnel to Towers 5K Run and Walk NYC is taking place on Sunday, September 29th. This Sunday, registration closes at 4 p.m. the day before. And for more information, you can log on to t2t.org. If you've never taken part in this event, it's something to certainly see.